we should in the city of Newark. We just had Eric Olson from the NRDC on, and we also had Yvette Jordan, and I think we had a good conversation, right? Like because I think that I think that there's just been so much said, and there seems to be so much like heat that if we can get everybody together and just have a conversation, I think we find out that we agree a lot more than we disagree, right? And so you heard the interview and were you listening to the interview?
I caught a little part of it, about 2 or 3 minutes of it.
Okay, cool. Well, then you could talk to us about either that or what happened on Wednesday. So Wednesday there was a big town hall meeting. What was that about? I wonder.
Well, to destroy the myths, get the truth out there, to understand, let people understand the timeline, and really to give people the correct information, right? Get away from the misinformation, right? To better inform our people,
like our
residents.
Like a couple of days ago, right? Just I think it was like the day after the town hall. The Washington Post has a headline that says "A month without clean water in Newark," making it seem like all the water in Newark is bad, or the comparisons to Flint that were not made, by the NRDC and were not made by many activists, but that are made by some, right? Like, and so I think that what we're trying to do is get everyone to agree on certain basic things, right? Like Flint, the water source was contaminated. Newark, the water source is not contaminated. Newark's not Flint. Like the problem is with lead service lines, lead fixtures to a lesser extent, right? But we can agree that the water is good. What do you want the people to know right now? What should people do if they're worried about water right now in the city of Newark?
I want people to understand, right, that the city has been very transparent, right, about the water issues in the city. In 2017, after 20 years of using sodium silicate, we had our first lead exceedance. But just to take a step back, in 2016, it was the city of Newark, right, that held the press conference and told you we had lead issues in the school system.
Right.
Right, it was the city that assisted the school system on finding out what was going on.
So you actually helped go, like you were doing that. You were working for the city. You were doing that then.
So we were working for the city. We went out and did.
And when you say
point of entry, the water department.
Helped you.
I went out on a couple of jobs. Yes, the water department went out and tested the water coming into the school system. Right, because when we say source water, we have the source water that's at the reservoir, and we have the source water we saying is coming out of the treatment plant. Right, because people say, "Oh, you can't drink the source water." The source water coming out of the treatment plant, you can drink. It's already treated.
Okay. It's
coming down that cast iron or ductile iron or that steel pipe that comes into the city. That's treated water. That when it enters a lead pipe, right, it became corrosive.
So question. You talked about these pipes. If I'm a senior living in a senior building, do I have to worry about lead pipes?
No, the senior buildings are not serviced by a lead pipe. It's going to be serviced by a bigger diameter pipe, right? A ductile iron pipe or cast iron pipe that's either 4, 6, 8, or 12 inches in diameter. The bigger the pipe, the more flow comes through.
Now, and those large senior buildings, do they have to worry about lead fixtures?
They may or may, some of them, yes.
So everyone should just get the water tested anyway.
You can get your water tested. The city of Newark is testing your water for free. The Housing Authority rolled out a program. I think they were using Lewis Consulting Group. A year ago, they started testing some of the older housing developments. Because everybody got to remember, after 2014, they called it lead free, but they reduced the amount of lead that you can use in fixtures to 0.25%.
Okay.
At one time, I think you can use up to 8% in lead fixtures.
So,
but the orthophosphate, the orthophosphate that we're putting in now,
right,
in due time, we'll start coating the lead plumbing, meaning the lead solder that they use to combine the pipes in your apartments, in those homes, and those fixtures. That's what the ortho does.
Okay.
It forms like a liner, prophylactic liner on the pipes and the fixtures to prevent lead from leaching.
So would you recommend like just like I get my car checked, just like I get myself checked, right? Just like I go to the doctor. I do some basic maintenance stuff. Do you recommend that everyone just have their lead tested like once every couple of years?
Why not? It's for free.
Okay.
If you're concerned, you're a little nervous, you're anxious, call the water department, 973-733-6303. and get a free water test.
Now you said that really relaxed, like like if you call, you'll be able to get your water tested.
Yeah, we'll set up an appointment when you're available.
Now there was a question that came up last time about logistics, right? Like it's a huge city. We've got like just 18,000 lead lines to replace. We have a ton of people who may be concerned. Are you getting backlog inside the water department in testing? Like if I call up, hey, I need to get tested, what is the time between calling and someone showing up?
So it's not calling and showing up. So you call, we open up the calendar in this track. These are the dates available. Remember, we're on your schedule.
Okay.
We're on your schedule. So, you may not be available for us to come test you tonight.
Okay.
Right? You may not be saying, we don't, it's an inconvenience. Our crews come out from 7 in the morning to 7 at night to collect water testing. Right?
So 12
7
hours,
days a week.
So 7 days a week? Well, you test on Sunday.
If some people are available.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
We can make appointments on Sunday. We've been doing that since October.
So
Now,
12
hold
hours
on
a day, 7 days a week.
Now, hold on for a second, because what we just heard, right, from Miss Jordan is that she had called a number of times and no one has gotten back to her in regards to coming out and testing her water.
For testing and also for the lead service line replacement.
So, Miss Jordan is on every news channel, every radio station, every front page. Why would we not test Miss Jordan's water? It's ironic that every time you're on TV, you're saying we didn't do something. Why not ask us to come test your water?
But I think that wasn't the testing of the water, because I think she's saying her water is tested. She's just waiting.
She's waiting for the results.
Because she had it independently tested.
Right. She did.
Right.
Say
So that wasn't with you.
Right.
It was independent testing.
Right.
But she said she was waiting for because she's a homeowner who has the lead service lines, and she filled out the form. She said she filled it out 3 times, and she's like, I haven't heard back in terms of just.
And she said she's in phase 2.
Or no, she said the city's in phase 2.
No, the city's not in phase 2.
Or city's in phase 1. City's in phase 1, and she was like, but I haven't heard back. So for her and other people who called or signed up, if they want to get their lead lines replaced, what does that process look like?
So let me just take it back. So the city rolled out a lead service replacement program in April of 2018. Phase 1, we put shovels in the ground. Phase 1, the first phase, we rolled out the program. We rolled out. We're going to replace lead services in 10 phases over 8 years. Phase 1, shovels went into the ground in March of this year, which was 1,500 per phase. Right, March of this year, phase 1 went into the ground.
And that means, and by phase 1, you mean that you are right now putting shovels in the ground to replace 1,500 lead lines.
No, phase 1, which started in March, was part of the initial program we rolled out in April of 2018.
Okay.
Right, the first 1,500 we started on was.
And by 1,500, you mean 1,500 lead lines that
we're going to replace.
Okay.
Was in March of 2019, March 13, 2019. Phase 2 is about to be awarded by the council pretty soon. I think the 18th is the next council meeting. The emergency that we did right now, that we're replacing lead service line,
okay,
just required us to do it in an expedited fashion, right? To replace 10,000 lead service lines.
So, and I guess this is where the clarification comes in, right? Like, so in February, that was phase 1, and 1,500 lines were removed.
Started to be removed.
And then now, because of the emergency, because of the additional funding, 15,000?
Because of the additional funding and the uncertainty of the water filters and giving out bottled water and the water usage that was going down, right? People wasn't using the water, which creates another problem.
Right.
We're not using the water, right? It's losing its disinfection, right? Becomes stagnant. Cities out there flushing. People.
And I know you
right?
said it was down 25%, right?
Right. It was down. Water usage was down. Right? People wasn't using water. Giving out bottled water. They're scared. The media. People just concerned. They don't know what to do. The emergency has us to expedite the process of removing them lines, right? And we have a new timeline, 24 to 30 months.
Okay, so those are the 15,000 or the 18,000.
That's all the lead service lines.
So if I call up, hey, I got lead service lines in my house. I signed up. What's the process? Like, what does that look like, and what is that timeline?
So you sign up. What we're doing now is logistics, right? You sign up. We want to come on. We want to go block by block, right? And there's a reason for that. So if we on your block and we got a new ordinance, the new ordinance just passed, so let me just back up. We don't have to wait for your signature. We're gonna notify you,
Okay.
try to get you to make an appointment for you to be there that day, or the landlord don't live there, or the residents is there. The residents give us right of entry, go in the basement, do our inspection, and replace the pipe. So if you're living on MLK Boulevard,
All right.
and we working on MLK Boulevard, we can get all those services, and let's move to the next block.
Okay, so before,
Before it was
you had
a
to actually
volunteer.
organize and you had to get the volunteers, and that's what the block associations were for. Because Felicia Johnson,
Right.
Felicia Hill now, right? Felicia Hill came on a few weeks ago, and she was organizing her block, and she was organizing, getting everyone to sign the paper so that the block could be all the block could be done at the same time. But now, because the ordinance is about to be passed or was passed,
It's passed.
okay, so because the ordinance is now passed, you no longer need to organize block by block. You can actually do.
Well, he doesn't
No,
need
no,
the
we
approval.
do. We don't need to get the approval of the homeowners.
Okay, so
That's what the ordinance for. The block by block strategy helps us to say, okay, these 10 blocks are ready. We can go here.
But
That's
you don't
how
need signatures anymore.
we want to get signatures, but we don't have to wait on them. Once we're on the block, we can go start.
Right.
So what I'm saying
After we notify.
so before it was like the people had to organize for that block strategy to work, right? Because you had to get the signatures before.
Well, it's two things we did. Once we knew we had the 120 million, we wanted to start organizing people in the communities, start having people register on your block.
Right.
So when we start with these contracts start coming in, we can start saying, hey, we got these 10 blocks ready. Let's go starting to work.
Right.
Let's go start working now, right? Because it's better to say we're going to do 2 houses on this block than shoot across town.
Right. You want to do all the houses that are affected on the block.
Exactly.
Right. So, but right now, you still want people to organize.
Of course.
But it's just they don't have to wait for that last person.
Exactly. We don't have to wait.
So
once we come out there, we got majority. So John, if it's 25 people on your block and we identify 25 lead services out of 30 houses on your block, and we got 15, we're gonna start working because we'll get the other 10 while we out there.
Right.
So really, it's just in everyone's interest to organize among their block, call up, hey, we've got it. And so, once you organize in your block, is there a timeline of hearing back? Like, how, like I fill out the form is in. What happens next?
So the forms come in, we verify the forms, going through the paperwork to understand what our records, checking records come out. And in a little while, we'll be rolling out a plan and say, hey, we're coming into your neighborhood in 2 weeks. So we got this, you may or may have not. We only like maybe 10 or 15 days into the actual approval of using the money from the state.
Right.
So now we're getting together.
Right,
we're getting together. So when we, as these crews ramp up, right, we can say, hey, Hansberry is ready. Let's go get them. Eastern Parkway is ready. We can get a crew over there. We can start keeping these crews in neighborhoods, right? Upper Ivy Hill, the Velsburg, the Fairmont District, the Weequahic District, the Clinton Hill District. So we'll have crews in the area where they're just moving over from one block to another block instead of moving from one part of town to another part of town.
Because you already know where the lead lines are at.
And we got the backlog.
And you have the backlog of people who signed up. So you're putting your list of where the lead lines are at, the people who signed up, you're putting that together so the crews can go block by block. So people are organizing, but in addition to people organizing, you already know where a certain number of those lead lines are.
Yes, we know where a large amount of the lead lines are. Right? The block organizations just help us when the companies are in your area, right? That they don't leave. We want to keep them in that area, right? Because if we keep them in that area, people visually see the work getting done, and they actually got to meet with those companies to start signing up.
Okay.
Company after you go, hey, you can come visit my house right now. We have inspectors out there right now while they're doing construction work. Monitoring them, that can come and go. You live around the corner. Oh, come on, you can sign up right now. We can get some dates from you. We get contact information from you. All that stuff because we're in the field.
Right.
You actually see us working.
Okay. So really, this is a matter of just there's a lot of work to be done, right? Like removing 18,000 lead lines in 2.5 years, it's just a lot to be done. And so what you're doing right now is like, look, here's how we're organizing it. So for someone who's like, hey, I haven't heard from you, what would you say to them?
If you haven't heard from us, call us at 973-733-6303.
And they would definitely, there's somebody there to pick up the line. They'll be getting somebody, they'll be able to talk to somebody, and they'll be able to give them
Yes,
some
be a
like,
little patient. Sometimes we get in the high volume of calls, right?
Okay.
You can even leave a message, or you can email us at water and sewer. One word, water and sewer at ci.newark.nj.us.
Now,
Okay.
now let me ask you a question, brother director. In regards to what Ms. Jordan said, she said that there was someone on her block and that someone from the city went by on a Sunday, right? And she was not there. And so there was some concern in regards to folks not getting back to that particular person. And so before you answer the question, I guess what I'm saying is that now that we now have legislation in the city that rather she signs off or not, but if the majority of the people that lives on Miss Jordan's block signs up and y'all hit that block, whether y'all make contact with her or not, you're going to replace her line no matter what.
Yes, yes. So let me just back up to, because you said two things that I want to, clear the myth. One, if you're not home, we leave door knockers. Sorry, we missed you. Call us back at this number so we can come back out.
Right.
Those
Right.
people you got the volunteers and the contractors coming back out to sign up to get your information so we can say, hey, we're going to be working on your block on this day.
Mm-hmm.
So the door knockers that we leave, even if you wasn't home, it's letting you know we came here. Call us,
Right.
email us so we can come back.
Okay. So
Right?
so you're attempting to contact, if you miss them, you will call and you'll be back.
Sorry, we missed you. Give us a call. We wait. This Newark's Lead Service Line program information. Go online and call us.
Okay. So there's another question I wanted to ask, but I'm gonna let you, because you had a question too, right?
No. I mean, I asked it, but I guess I want to get to the piece about contractors in regards to that. How can independent contractors who are interested in working with the city get involved in terms of helping to replace some of those lead lines?
So yesterday, I mean, I mentioned it Wednesday, and there's been literature going around. Yesterday, the city had a meeting. I think it was attended by about 60 different contractors, MBEs or WMBEs, learning the process, right, and how they can get involved with this contract. I think it was 60 companies that were there. It was with the Affirmative Action Department, right? You can go visit the Department of Affirmative Action. I think it's B25 in City Hall, Dave Muhammad, right? And he'll inform you of what's available, so you can come on, how you can participate as being a sub or a general in this process.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's I know we're running out of time now, because like but do you have any other things that you would want people to know? Like, what is there, like, because again, I think we had a good show tonight, and I think that, like, if anyone listened to the whole show, there's a lot less panic now than there was before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what would you say to to people in the city of Newark who have concerns about drinking the water?
My first concern would be, if you have a lead service line and you live in the Pequannock system, lead service line in the Pequannock system. By the way, we're replacing lead services throughout the entire city. If you have a lead service line and you live in the Pequannock system, if you didn't pick up a filter, you should pick one up at one of the rec centers, right, or the health department, right? And you should be using it properly. Using it properly means when you see the red light on, it's time to change it. When you see the yellow light on, it's telling you that it's about to be at the end of its useful life. Shouldn't use hot water. You should follow the instructions. If you're unsure how to use it, you can contact the water department. We're going to be doing a lot more seminars and training out.
That's actually a question that I wanted to ask.
The proper use and installation of a filter. However, right, we found out that 97% of the people using filters, right, were working. They were using them correctly, right? And we also found out if they flushed, I've been saying flush for maybe a year now, if you flush the filter when you're away from home for a stagnant, long period of time, right, water gets stagnant. Before you filter the water, it improves to 99%.
So basically, let your water run.
Right. Well, let it run. Run means, you can take a shower, you can flush the toilet, you can wash some clothes, right? You should only be using a filter when you're drinking water or cooking. You're going to mop the floor, you should turn the filter off and get the water coming out of it. You shouldn't be filtering a bathtub full of water,
and
a 5 gallon
right.
bucket full of water. You're going to kill the filter light, right? So the city is still giving out replacement cartridges. We've continued to give out replacement cartridges. The rec centers, everyone is still stocked with replacement cartridges. But my biggest thing is the city has first told everyone in 2017 we had a problem.
Right.
We announced that we had a problem, right? We came back and told you we found out what the problem was, right? And here's the steps we're going to take to correct the problem. One, we're going to give out filters immediately to help reduce the effect of lead levels in water. Two, we introduced a new corrosion control, right? Within 6 months after that announcement, that system was up and running on May the 7th, 2019. 6 months after we identified the problem, we started putting the corrosion control in, the orthophosphate. However, before we even knew what the problem was, a year prior to that, we rolled out the lead service replacement program, right? We broke groundbreaking on that 4 months after we made the announcement that we located what the problem was, right? EPA sent us back the pipes. We had the press conference. We're going to give out the filters. We started groundbreaking, and we got the corrosion control in. So we're still going to pull out the pipes, but you need to use the water. When we tested 3 filters, very transparent, and 2 of them fell, we told the public. And as a precaution, we gave out bottled water. The data is back. The filters are working. We're going to shut the bottled water program down. Still open at the Shiny Baraka Center for those women that's pregnant or maybe nursing, right? And the health department, children under 6, right? We want them to use that.
Right.
Using it, but your filters work. We need to use them correctly. And we need to organize, because Newark can always organize. We're big organizers, right? We can get together. People don't need to tell us how to get together. We can get together on our own. Block associations, neighborhoods, let's get together, let's organize so when these contractors come, they can get in and get out.
And
So
also,
get in and get out.
And also, I think that the volunteers for education are really important. I think one thing everyone agrees, because I didn't know you couldn't run hot water through your filters.
Right.
I never knew that. Like I thought filters, why would hot water matter to a filter? But a lot of people some people might not have known that.
So John, there's 2 things, I'm a little deterred when people say they don't know that, because a lot of us, we open the box. But we open the box.
I don't read it, no.
But then we blame the city.
Right.
We don't read it, but we blame the city.
Right, because I didn't know. But I am not one to read it.
YouTube, it's 1,000 videos. Everybody got a smartphone nowadays. You go on YouTube, it's 1,000 videos. Right. So not blaming anybody, but you can't blame the city. But we'll ramp it up.
Right.
You want us to help you, we'll help you. So we're doing everything we can do. Right. We're doing everything we can do. Right. And for free. All this stuff we're doing is for free. The filters for free. The bottled water for free. The lead service line for free. The information and training for free.
And free is good.
So 2 things came out in that conversation with Eric Austin and Yvette Jordan. One was that the city is moving faster than any other town to correct this issue. That was one.
Right.
2, the other thing is that everyone agreed that there needs to be more education. Right? Because what we've now determined is that someone as educated as Mr. Austin doesn't read the box. So
I know. My bad.
So we know that other folks in the city don't read that box, and so therefore the city gets blamed. And so it needs to be an education process, right? Because people want to look at pictures as opposed to reading.
True.
So we need to find out, how do we then, get more people who are qualified to be able to go and say, listen, let me show you how to use this particular device, because that was the same issue my aunt was having in the South Ward, until someone came by and said, no, you're using the filter wrong. And she was like, oh my God. And then once they helped her with it, she was like, these people scared the hell out of me, and said all I needed to know is somebody to come in and show me how to put it on properly. And now, it's calmed my nerves. But see, here's the problem, though, Brother Director. The problem that we're having is that instead of those people who are yelling all of this noise coming and saying, Brother Director, how can we help you? Can you educate us so that we can go back out and educate the other folks, right? I think that's the issue, right? But we now understand that some of those folks have a vested interest in keeping the confusion going, as opposed to hearing what it is you got to say as someone who is licensed and experienced in this area, in order to tamp this noise down and then get the proper information out.
So, and I kind of agree. So I look at it at the NRDC, I don't like to even talk about them. They gave out about 1,500 or maybe 2,500 water filters, the same kind we're giving out. They also went back and seen, they went to visit, I think, 100 or 150 homes, right? It's public, right? To see if they were using them correctly. The ones they gave out to their own people. The people that even was going to investigate to see if people was using them correctly wasn't even using the filters.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you're not even educating the people that you gave the filters to.
Wow.
To how to use them properly, but then you'll say it's the city fault.
Wow.
Then I heard somebody else say that the population, the city of Newark population is 53% of it is illiterate.
Wow.
Wow.
Right? But you out here giving them mixed messages, wrong information. You could have joined with the city to give them positive information.
Right.
Right?
That's my point.
You could have came out with the city and said, you know what? We want to help you improve the public education.
Right.
But I think that is a point where I think everyone agrees, right?
But we agree. Yeah,
so
we got him to agree.
Right.
We got him to
well,
agree.
The state already, but the state already came out. We had a press conference last week.
Right.
And the state said they rolling out the community assistance program.
Right.
To train and go around and tell people, right, how to use the filters. Right. And make sure they're using them correctly. Right. Now everybody agree.
Right. Yeah. So one other thing in terms of, I guess, the last controversy, Eric Olson was, and they said that the test results weren't released. I didn't fully understand it in terms of, I thought all those test results were public knowledge anyway. I thought the EPA has it. I thought that, when the latest tests are a combination of Newark, you give the numbers to the EPA, it's released, you get the numbers. So the NRDC was like, where do we get the numbers from? So are the numbers public?
The NRD, the US EPA hasn't released the final report yet.
Okay.
So there's a difference. We're in conjunction with the NJDEP,
and that's
the
US
EPA, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and the US EPA. The final report should be here shortly. Just looked over, maybe a week or two out. The final report hasn't been released.
And the final report will be released by the federal EPA.
But once they give us the go ahead and everybody's agreed, we release the final report.
Yeah, I just want to say we out of time, but I want to say something publicly to you, my brother, because I said this to the mayor when he was here 2 weeks ago. I want to say I have tremendous amount of respect for you, man, and I want to say thank you for the job you're doing, and I want to say that the hit job that the New York Times
the New York
Times
piece was tough. That was.
The New York Times.
We need to get you back on again. Just to talk
the New York Times tried to do on you, my brother. I want to say, listen, man, I appreciate you for standing up to that. And one thing that we do know is that we all got degrees up our behind, and we said this to the mayor, that the degree is not what makes you qualified. It qualifies you to get on the field, but that doesn't qualify you to get picked, right? That don't mean white folks gonna pick you to do the job. Let me tell you something, man. You are my director. You're not no goddamn acting director. You my director, and you doing a
radio.
Hey, brother, I get it. But he's doing a director's job, and I'm saying, brother, I appreciate the job you're doing, and I'm upset with the New York Times. And John was the only one who defended you and actually wrote to the New York Times, and we told the brother who's the gentleman who's in charge of the communications department in Newark now, and he said the same to me on Wednesday. Mark. He said, I should have wrote something. He said, but thank you for letting me know that John wrote something in defense of that. We said the same thing to Mitty last night. And Mitty was saying, yeah, I need to read that because John wrote about that. And we told the mayor that was a hit job on you, brother, and that there's no way that we're going to accept that, not only as your brothers, but as members of your community, man. And we recognize, brother, that a college degree is not what makes you qualified. That qualifies you to get on the field, and that's the bar that those folks have created for us. Yeah, we got them, and yeah, we're in hundreds of thousands of dollars of goddamn debt for that. But at the end of the day, brother, you more qualified than anybody I ever met talk about water. And so, brother, I salute you and thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Well, we actually have to have you back on to even talk about that and what you've done.
Sure. I just want to say one thing first and foremost. I know we about then. I want to thank the mayor, right, and this administration, right, and because I've been with the water department, almost 30 years off and on, right. One thing about it,
almost 30 years
off and on, right. But one thing we do know, this administration grabbed this thing by the horns,
right.
right, and rolled out of steps to replace. We didn't kick it down the road. We told you. We rolled out a plan. Everything's for free. We doing it, right? The only reason NRDC here because we told you. You seen Wednesday, we showed you when we told people that they made that pay. John just said it. I don't read that. So the junk mail that you was throwing away was saying, hey, we had a problem. Right? That's why I want to thank the mayor because, right, everything we've asked him to do, or we've brought to him for infrastructure, go ahead. Projects that was dormant for 30, 10, 20 years, we've moved them. We're doing projects. We're upgrading the infrastructure, right? So I want to thank him for that, right? Because you know what? I live here. He live here. We work here. We went to school here.
That's right.
And our families still live here.
That's right.
And our families drink this water every day.
And I want to thank the mayor for not.
We got invested interest.
Yeah.
Right. We live it.
Yeah. And I thank the mayor for not listening to the naysayers who wanted him, as he said, to fire you, and he refused to do that.
Hey, I'm gonna say my last thing is this: the New York Times sat down with me and the mayor. They looked at my credentials. They knew that. The New York Times also knew that Andrea Adebawale fell sick around 2014, off and on, had cancer. I was still enrolled in college, right? Taking classes, I had to withdraw in parts of those classes. I had to take a bigger role in the department. As she got sicker, my role got bigger, right? And a part of that shows you my dedication, right? To learn this job. I was forced to learn things that I didn't want to learn.
Right.
But I'm happy I learned them.
Yes, sir.
So I'm able to sit here now and talk about it.
And that's why we definitely have to.
And in doing that, these people knew I was enrolled at Thomas Edison to finish my degree.
Right.
These people knew I had credentials, right?
Right.
And they didn't go ask anybody in the state, is he qualified to run the department?
Right.
You went and asked somebody that was retired that said normally engineers with management experience run those departments. Well, you knew I had the management experience because I'm a certified public works manager, Rutgers University, right here where we sit. Certified public manager, Rutgers University.
Right.
Licensed water operator, licensed sewer operator.
Right.
You knew that.
Right.
You didn't expose it. The
That's
truth
right.
gets stopped at the corner.
Yes, sir.
Just remember this, my brothers. The truth gets stopped at the corner.
That's right.
A lie runs a marathon.
That's right.
It's all the drama, the theatrics, everything that goes with the lie. It's going to last a long time.
That's right.
Truth gets stopped at the corner.
That's right.
We had a nice thing Wednesday, right?
Yes.
That cycle ended already.
Yes, sir.
The negativity cycle still goes on.
Yes, sir.
Truth gets stopped at the corner. We more educated. We can make decisions. We just gotta listen.
But here's the beauty. Here's the beauty. Now, Elijah Muhammad said that when the truth comes, a lie can't lie no more. You just brought the truth, right? So
I thought Wednesday was excellent, and I think. Well, I mean, again, we're gonna have you back, and we're gonna be talking about water for a long time. To help get the truth out there. So, thank you for coming. I think I'm in a little bit of trouble because I'm going on DJ Rhino's time. He's the best DJ in the universe. We got another guest waiting out there.
We want John to read those instructions.
I mean, I'm gonna try, man.
A lot of people read those instructions, John. So you can read it.
I'm a start, man. I'm a start.
But we definitely want to thank our brother for coming through, man. We appreciate you.
Remember the free lead testing. Go get your kids tested at 110 William Street, 973-733 lead, or make that appointment. Dr. Wade and the staff over there doing a great job, man.
All right.
You know, free look, everything in Newark, free.
Yes, sir. Free. And we like free.
Our community, we care. Free.
Yeah. We like free. All right, y'all. We're ready to take a break. We're gonna be back with our other guests. You listen to All Politics Local,
America's
number one political hip hop radio talk show.
Free filter, Jonathan Austin don't read it.
Wow.
Don't read it.
John, I'm glad you said you didn't read it.
I have to be honest.
We don't require you to read it, right?
Gotta be honest. So I think a lot of people don't.
No, it's no different from when I'm at the community meeting a year ago and I'm doing demonstrations. People looking at me like, oh, your husband ain't been putting it over 20 years. You just start giving them out.
Right.
But the mind was, we men. First thing we said,